Hi, I'm Christina Lewis, and this is my persuasive speech, and I will be doing my persuasive speech on the benefits that animals have on humans, and why I think it's important for people to be exposed to animals rather than not be exposed to animals. My audience is not with me today, so I do have an audience that they're with me all the time when I'm at home, and their names are Tigger and Ashes, and they are currently running away from me. Tigger. There's a Tigger, Tig. Where are you at, kitty? There he is. There's my Tigger man. That's Tigger. And over here is Ashes. Ashes, look at the camera. Say hi. Where are you at, kitty? Oh, there's a kitty cat. Say hi. So those are my cats, and they've been with me for about 10 years, which makes them about, Tigger's probably 20 in human years, and Ashes is, he's probably about 16 in human years. So again, I'm here to talk to you about the benefits of animals on people and why I believe that people should be exposed to animals on a regular basis. They're amazing creatures, and that noise was probably them going into my cupboard. Anyway, animals are amazing creatures, and we learn more and more about them every day. One of the things that we have learned is that there are so many health benefits associated with animals. When people are exposed to animals, it's been proven that there are health benefits. There's been organizations such as the Center for Disease Control, WebMD, and also the American Veterinary Medical Association. They've all done studies proving that animals have a therapeutic effect on humans. So I'm here today to encourage you to consider the many benefits of pet therapy, pet ownership, and utilizing pets in the elderly communities. Therapy dogs. Studies have proven to us that therapy dogs can detect cancer in patients. In a 2006 study by the Pine Street Foundation, specially trained dogs could detect cancer in about 97%, with a 97% accuracy rate. Also, there's a study done by a British journal, which is called Gut. In 2011, a trained Labrador detected colorectal cancer in 91% of the patients, which is pretty amazing considering the high mortality rate for colorectal cancer. So I like to believe that, not only is it therapeutic, but they also save lives. So they can train dogs to detect cancer in patients, which is pretty amazing. Horses. I'm sure many of you have heard of horse therapy, especially here in Nebraska. There's different horse therapy farms out there that kids go to. Horse therapy is really, really good for children with ADHD, autism, Down syndrome. By caring for these animals, it teaches children a sense of self-worth. It teaches them self-control. It teaches them how to interact with others. And, horses they're such gentle creatures, and they're so patient with these children. So these special needs kids, They really learn how their behavior affects others by working with these animals. They develop confidence, self-control, and of course empathy. We all know the autistic child has trouble with that, and by working with horses, they learn those things, which is just crucial for their social lives and social skills. Also, cerebral palsy children, they benefit from horse therapy by being a rider. Physically impaired riders, like kids with cerebral palsy, or people with muscular dystrophy, things of those natures, by being a rider, they gain muscle strength, balance, and, of course, mobility. Okay, therapy animals are wonderful animals, and so much goes into training them, and they're just such a huge benefit to our community. But the traditional domesticated house pet is also very important, of course, by seeing my two cats. According to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, domesticated family pets have shown to lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol, lower triglyceride levels, and of course decrease feelings of loneliness. Family pets also increase our physical activity. They teach our children how to love. They teach our children compassion and of course responsibility. I've always had pets. Been around pets my whole life. We had horses, we had dogs, we had rabbits, and my parents taught me a lot about caring for others. They taught me that in order to care for ourselves, we must take care of others first, and they taught me that through being responsible for these animals. If your horse didn't eat or your rabbits weren't watered, then you went without. And so it really teaches us responsibility, and by caring, how to care for other people and how to care for ourselves as well. So depression. It's been scientifically proven that petting an animal can help depression. According to a study by Rebecca Johnson, she is a professor of nursing and veterinary medicine at the University of Missouri at Columbia, petting an animal releases serotonin levels. Now in humans. So what serotonin is a feel-good hormone. It is released through our central nervous system, and it's like it goes along with all your endorphins. Like with exercise, they say that when you exercise, you release all these feel-good hormones, and then you feel better about yourself. That's kind of what serotonin does. And by petting a cat or a dog or any animal, those serotonin levels are released through our body, which makes us feel better, which lowers our depression. I can relate to this personally because I've suffered depression off and on my entire life, and I know it makes me feel better. I would never go without my pets, and the serotonin, some of these drugs that people take for depression release the serotonin, which, if you can just pet a cat, that would, why take a pill when you can, take care of an animal and pet an animal instead. Finally, let's not forget about the elderly. Many nursing home facilities have incorporated the use of facility pets. These pets are usually their cats, dogs, their fish aquariums, and their bird aviaries. So studies have shown that these facility pets can combat depression, of course, and loneliness. And by doing that, the elderly are very, I've worked with the elderly my whole life. They feel very alone. They are very alone. Their families aren't around all the time, or they have no family, or they're estranged from their family. They're in a strange place. They're in a very small, limited place. They can't bring very many of their possessions. None of their friends are there, or their friends have passed on. And I've been in buildings where we had a dog. We had Buddy the dog, and Buddy could sing happy birthday, and that was just the greatest thing in the world, that Buddy could do this. And the residents just loved him, and they looked forward to him every day, and it really was a reason for them to get up and get out of bed. There's also one of our residents, she had a cat, and the cat was in her room, and she loved that cat. That was a reason for her to get out of bed every day, and it was just a really wonderful experience seeing these people exposed to animals and giving them something else to think about and something else to care about but themselves, which I think really is a basis of pets. It gives you something to think about other than yourself, and it gives you a reason to get out of bed other than to go to work or to pay the bills or things of that nature. Fish aquariums, just the therapeutic effect of watching the water and the fish swim in the water has been proven to decrease agitation in Alzheimer's units, which is critical because those poor Alzheimer's people, they get really agitated really quickly, and they don't know why, and they're scared. So that calming sensation of watching the fish in the water is just crucial to that population. And then, of course, the bird aviaries. We also had a bird aviary where I worked at, and so many residents, they would just flock around that aviary, and they would watch this finch, and they would watch that bird, and then they'd watch them fight, or this one's having babies, or that one's building the nest. And it's just amazing what animals can do for the human psyche. According to recent studies, nursing home pets have been shown to, of course, decrease disruptive behaviors in Alzheimer's patients. Also decreases the use of antidepressants in the elderly, again, the serotonin. And lastly, these residents who help care for facility pets tend to stay more physically active than their counterparts, which, that just makes sense. One tends to follow the other. The more you have to do, the more you have to care for, the more physically active that you're going to be. So in conclusion, the human-animal bond is a very strong bond, and we are learning every day how important it is for us to interact with animals. There are many, many health benefits to pet ownership, and I strongly urge all these points to be considered. You know, if you have a loved one in a nursing home, or if you are single and don't have a family and are feeling lonely, you know, it's so much better just to get a pet, to have a cat to take care of, go get a dog. So I strongly urge you to consider this. Thank you for watching my speech.